for today. 189 pounds. Now when I stepped on the scale, it actually did go down to 188 and then back up to 189. So I think maybe kind of where it's sitting on the floor on the tile, it kind of could be a little off. We'll go with 189. I mean, I'm probably more like 188, which is fine. I don't really care about being 188 or 89. So 186 is where I was at for Team Universe last year. And I think I'm pretty close to having that type of physique right now. Although it's too small last year at Team Universe, they wanted me to be bigger. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down a little bit more, maybe to about right around the 186 mark. Maybe, yeah, 186. And I'll actually start to carb up because I've been on pretty low carbs for the last couple of weeks. As I start to carb up, I'll start to gain weight and fill out, but the leanness will still be there. So it's kind of like if I want to be 192, you overshoot down to 186 and carb back up to 192, and now you have a fuller, harder, drier 192 than if you just stop dieting at 192. So that's the idea. I've noticed that a lot of people, they try to make weight, they're like, yeah, you know, I gotta make 198 for the light heavyweight division. They make 198 and they stop, they're like, yeah, I made weight. Yeah, but you're not lean enough. So you want to be 198 full. So shoot for like 190, then come back up to 198 so that you're, you know, actually in shape. So we're gonna do a little physique update here. I'll be able to put this camera down a little bit so you can see the legs. The legs don't really matter in physique, but you can see everything's starting to kind of separate and stuff now, where I didn't have separations a couple weeks ago. So I always look for this right here, where my adductors and my abdominals meet, my serratus. And so we'll start with the physique poses. Set these trunks kind of like where my shorts would be. So there we go, sitting at 188, 189, somewhere around there, and we have a week and a half still. So basically, shit, I came down, like 202 down to 189 in about 2.5 weeks. Now, people right off the bat were like, on Instagram and stuff, like, what the fuck are you doing, blah, blah, blah. Of course everybody wants to know what I'm doing. Of course everybody wants to know how to get in shape that fast. First of all, you know what, we're gonna go through, I'm gonna put the marker board up, actually we can go through this stuff. I don't want these vlogs to be your usual, like, watching what I'm eating bullshit and like, you know, talking about the same shit about like, well, I practice my posing and I'm gonna pick my fucking shorts and stuff like that. That stuff is not fucking helpful. A lot of people do that shit out there all the time. And you see what they're eating fucking day by day, but the problem is you don't eat what they eat day by day because it's fucking different. And, you know, I don't think you need another one of those vlogs. So I think what we're gonna do is kind of do a set of rules to success on how I'm doing this and kind of explain it a little bit, because today is Tuesday, so I'm gonna do chest and shoulders today. And my bicep tendon, the tendonitis has been affecting me really badly the last like month. It comes and goes, but it's been really bad. It affected me the whole prep last year. Like I could feel it. The tendon is like super tight and inflamed. You can like touch it and it, like my fingers like bounce off of it. So I'm like training around an injury still, at the same time eating very little carbohydrates and cranking up my cardio through the roof. And you know, basically don't get fucking fat, okay? Plain and simple. Like, you guys want to get in shape in 4 weeks? Don't get fucking fat. Like, I was you before. If you're fat, I was you. I used to go up to fucking 30, 40, 50 pounds above my contest weight, and then have to take 12 to 16 weeks to diet it down to make where I weight where I need it to be. Stop getting fucking fat. Nobody gives a fuck how big you are in a shirt, okay? They really don't give a fuck, especially in this sport. Okay, what they give a fuck about is what you look like without your shirt. So if you're 50 pounds above where you need to be, in a shirt you look all big and jacked, people are not stupid. They see your fat fucking face, they see your fat neck, and they see where you're fucking have fat in the outside of your chest coming through your shirt. They're not fucking stupid. So stay lean, put on lean mass, okay? And then when you have to diet down for Memorial Day, 4th of July, a show, a photo shoot, you could do a 2 to 4 week cut, and it's not a mini cut, that's all you need. You're basically staying 4 weeks away from being in show shape all the fucking time. And people are like, oh, it's so hard. No, it's not hard. I do it all the fucking time. If you stay lean and put your high carb days and your cheat days and you schedule your shit and don't just fucking do whatever I want, whenever I want. Newsflash, this sport is not whatever I want, whenever I want. Okay, if you want to live that fucking flexible dieting lifestyle and you want to count every fucking macro on MyFitnessPal, knock your fucking self out. I don't use it. I don't have to fucking think about what I'm eating. I don't have to fucking even concentrate at all on a single fucking number by the end of the day. And I'll still get in shape fucking faster than these flexible dieting guys. I do flexible dieting, but I use my fucking head. I don't use Swedish fish as a main carbohydrate source. Okay? I don't eat the shit that they eat and count them all in my fucking macros. Like, I have not seen one person do flexible dieting be able to come down at a fast pace or not get fat after a fucking, not a rebound, but after a reverse diet. They all get fucking fatter, like a lot fatter, to the point where they have to take 12 to 16 weeks to diet back down. What the fuck? Why do you want to do that? First of all, you think that's healthy? No, it's not healthy. You think that looks good? No, it doesn't fucking look good. Does it feel good? Yeah, if you're one of those people that has an addiction to food and you have to fucking eat certain things and you lose your fucking mind, knock yourself out. But I don't let food control me. I eat to live. I don't live to eat. And I've been that way since 2014 when I stopped eating all the junk. I was eating Wendy's every night. But I was also 240 fucking fat pounds. You know, like, I made changes in my life because I didn't want to be that big, trying to get cut, fucking getting fat again, trying to get cut, wasting my fucking time, feeling like shit all the time. Am I tired now? Yeah. Are there days that I don't want to get out of bed? Yeah. But that has to do with my body fat being low enough, my body trying to reserve energy, rather than it does trying to fucking starve myself and reduce calories and increase cardio over a fucking 18-week fucking span. If you don't think that that's suffering over 18 weeks and you think what I'm doing is fucking worse, trust me, I have more energy than most of these motherfuckers out there doing the flexible dieting in general year-round. I have more choices than you think I do, even though I'm trying to eat quote-unquote clean or natural. But, you know, no matter what I say, it'll fall on deaf ears. It'll never just fucking make that jump to the people that really need it, to be honest with you. The people that need it are the people that fucking take 20 weeks to diet. The people that get fat in the off season or get fat year-round or in shape for one day during a show. That's not fucking fitness, okay? Fitness, health, you know, it's not being in shape one fucking day and then shoving as much junk in your body for the rest of the fucking time. It's just not. And I think the older guys and girls kind of get that, and they've been that route and they see it. And I think some of the younger guys are starting to come around now. So I'm seeing some of these flexible dieters eating more natural foods and less of the junk. And the ones that are eating the junk have these fucking fat, inflamed faces. They look like shit. They put up fucking pictures on their Instagram of them when they were in shape. Then you see them in person, you're like, what the fuck happened to them? They're eating a whole bunch of garbage. Yeah, they're hitting their macros, but they're inflamed as fuck and they're unhealthy as fuck. So let's, enough of this bullshit. Let's hit the marker board up and get this shit started on the day. All right, guys, marker board time. So, shredded in 30. So, this whole thing started because I had a photo shoot coming up, which actually wound up getting canceled because of Easter, which was kind of funny that we didn't know it was Easter, but for Primeval. So, I basically had 2 weeks after the Primeval shoot, which would have been this past weekend. So, I would have looked like I just did on camera for the shoot. And that was the idea is, opportunities come up, stay in shape. Like, you guys are always asking all the time, like, Jerry, you know, sponsor this and sponsor that. How do I do this? Stay in fucking shape. You know, like, don't fucking have pictures of yourself shredded and show up to a fucking interview fat. Stay in shape. You know what I mean? And when things like this pop up, you'll be able to take the photos, do the videos, and you'll get out there faster rather than fucking having to only do it a couple times a year when you're in shape. So, shredded in 30. SH30. Shredded in 30. Number one. Identify the goal, right? Which was to be shredded in 30 days, right? That was the goal. Number two, how long is it? Time frame. Now it's 30 days for the goal, but now add another 4 weeks to that. So you're gonna go with 60 days total because you want the reverse diet too. So that's already figured into my program. So, you know, yes, it's shredded in 30, but you gotta back out of it, right? So you don't get fat. You don't just rebound and do whatever the fuck you want. You don't get to 30 days and then stop. So 3, how do you do it? Okay, you're gonna 1, manipulate cardio. Okay, 2, diet. Okay, and most likely it's carbs and fat. You're not really fucking with the protein too much, but it could be messing with the protein. Depending on how much you cut your carbs, you could be raising your protein, depends. And 3, training. Okay, number 4, supplements. Okay, now the training obviously for me never changes. It's anywhere from 9 to 12 reps, not really to failure, but just short of failure now, a little bit higher volume than I used to do. Just to say my joints, I'm not trying to build muscle, I'm trying to stimulate metabolism. People don't realize when you train to a certain point in the gym, you stimulate your metabolism more than you could doing cardio. So you're doing cardio, which is stimulate your metabolism for about 5 to 6 hours, and then your actual training is about 7 to 8 hours. Okay, and then every time you digest protein, you get a stimulation of your metabolism by about 10-20% depending on the person. I mean, those are multiple metabolism boosts over a 24-hour period. That's how you get lean. So when I'm sleeping, I'm getting a lot leaner when I'm sleeping than the average person who stuffs himself full of shit and fucking trains, you know, does their cardio and their training together in the morning and loses that nighttime boost of metabolism. It's not the same. Like, these things make a fucking difference. And the people that say they don't are liars. They're absolute liars. They can throw all the science they want on the fucking on the board and say, yeah, this scientific study said this, this, and that, and I'll say get in shape in 4 weeks. And they can't do it following that. It happens all the fucking time. Well, I don't want a crash diet. 30 days is not a crash diet if you're already in fucking shape. 30 days is the end of your friggin' diet, so you're basically staying 30 days out all the time. And it's not impossible, it's not that hard to do. I do it all the fucking time. I don't ever tell or ask my clients to do something I don't do myself. And if this was that uncomfortable, I wouldn't be able to do it. Trust me, I'm not the type of guy who likes to be uncomfortable. It's not like a goal of mine to be uncomfortable. Supplements. So Pyretic is a big supplement that I use, which replaces Cardarine, which is now illegal. Adrenal Rush, which I use every single workout, which I only work out 4 days a week, so I'm taking days off, so I'm not really getting used to it. And Xanax at bed, which I don't care what anyone says. You recover faster and better when you sleep better, period. So these things are what I manipulated to get there. Now, what happens after the show? Let's erase this. Post-show. The first thing I want to do is not rebound, okay? That's not what you want to do, because when you rebound, you actually binge, you rebound, then you kind of cut back a little bit, it sends a signal to your brain that you're starving again, you fucking binge again, and it's a back and forth thing, which I don't really need to fucking be dealing with. So you need to have a good plan coming back how to reverse diet. Now, what I did to get into shape was cut the carbs, increase cardio, and I did kind of cut the fats. Oh, I increased the fats a little bit, depending on some days. Okay, so what we're going to do is go ahead and add some carbohydrates back over the course of 4 weeks. Cut back on the cardio, but not eliminate it. Okay, most people after the show, they stop doing cardio, they load themselves with a bunch of junk food. That's the opposite of what I'm doing, because it's a lifestyle, it's what I do. So I'm basically transitioning back and then increase the increased fats. I'll drop the fats again back down to about maybe 70 to 80 a day or something like that. So I'll drop them back down. But the food sources all stay the same for the carbs. Okay, the cardio will go from the treadmill to the bike, which I do the recumbent bike because it's easier on my back and knees, but I actually feel like I burn more over a period of time on a treadmill. And I will decrease the fats, but the fats stay the same. Almonds, animal fats, which are, you know, chicken, beef, stuff like that. I don't really eat egg yolks or anything like that. But these things I will start incorporating back into my diet. But the thing was, non-stop. You know, non-stop training. People always talk about how they love training, they love bodybuilding, they love the fitness industry, and they don't live it. My thing is I live it. And I definitely can help you kind of see how in 30 days you can get farther than you ever thought you could. But you guys got to understand that it doesn't end with 30 days. That's just a portion of what you're doing. It's a one little chapter in the book of your fucking journey that, yeah, you can get in great shape in 30 days. What happens afterwards? You have to have a plan in place afterwards. This plan has already been in place before I even started the 30-day shred. So be aware, guys. This stuff I think is just as important as the stuff itself, but you have to really fucking want to do this. You can't be like missing training sessions. You can't be missing cardio sessions. You can't be fucking up your meals if you're doing a 30-day shred, because you could have a wedding, you could have a birthday, you could have a trip coming up like a cruise or something. 30-day shred is fucking perfect for that. It's absolutely perfect for that, but you still got to be controlled the rest of the year. I mean, if you don't mind shredding down and blowing up and get fat again, knock yourself out. You can do this and fucking get it done. But those of you out there that want to stay in shape all the time, the after plan is just as important as the actual diet and training itself, guys. So hopefully this gives you guys a little more insight as to, I've thought this out a lot deeper than just get shredded, do a bunch of cardio, cut my carbs, etc., etc. And this can help you guys. So we're going to train today. We got 2 more workouts this week. We got legs, then shoulders and arms. The weekend off, just cardio. And then Monday starts the peak week, quote unquote, which I don't really push things too hard the peak week. I'll be my most depleted on peak week. I don't do any real big changes, but we'll kind of, we'll keep track of that and see where my weight's at and stuff like that and do a physique update and shit. And then Friday night, I go to check-in, which nobody really knows I'm doing the show. It's kind of a secret. I didn't want the pressure of people knowing I was doing it. I also wanted to be able to present this vlog series as something totally new. Like, I know everybody usually follows along with the vlogs. Like Christian Guzman has the, you know, the summer shredding, and this one has this one has that, and you're following along day to day and you're going through it with them. That's not what I wanted. What I wanted was like a TV show type feel where you see the result first. So you see the show and you're like, fuck, I didn't even know he competed. And then after that, we go back to the beginning and start backwards and show you leading up to the show how it went. So you already know the result, but you get to see the backstory as it goes along, which obviously that happens after the show. So like the whole time I'm filming, you know, people can't really know about it because you're wanting to have this big surprise at the end that you competed and have people go, holy fuck, how did he do that? And then go back and watch those things and hopefully learn some shit and be entertained. That's, you know, a big part of it. Like, this stuff is a pain in the ass to do, this filming and stuff. So hopefully, you know, you get some entertainment value, you get some education value, and overall this helps a lot of people, guys. So biostreettraining@gmail.com. Leave comments down below, but don't fight. www.biostrength.com's a blog. It's my shirt is so fucking baggy that it doesn't fit any more bicep, and we're out.